Let's talk about one of the wildest, inspiring stories in history, the first ascent of Mount Everest. Now, this isn't some let's go on a walk situation. No, we're talking about two absolute legends. First, Sir Edmund Hillary, a beekeeper from New Zealand, and Tenzing Norgay, a Sherpa from Nepal, taking on the tallest mountain in the world. Back then, climbing Everest was something that wasn't possible. It was like saying, I'm gonna go to Mars next week, wish me luck. The equipment was basic, the risk was insane, and the mountain, well, it's Mount Everest. It's 29,032 feet tall, the tallest mountain in the world. Now, before we go into any more detail, let's talk about the mountain itself. Now, it's situated between the countries of Nepal and Tibet, and it's not tall, it's ridiculously tall. Imagine this, you're walking up a set of stairs, holding your breath while carrying a bag of bricks. That's what every step on Everest feels like. See, a few people tried to climb Everest, but they all failed. It was either frostbite, avalanche, just plain old exhaustion, which means it was the ultimate challenge. Enters our heroes, Sir Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay. Now, Hillary wasn't some professional adventurer at the time. He was just a beekeeper from New Zealand and loved the outdoors. Meanwhile, Norgay was a Sherpa from the Himalayan area, climbing the Himalayas his whole life. Sherpas, by the way, are an ethnic group native to the Everest area and some of the best high-altitude climbers in the world. Together, these two were an incredible team. And not only were they strong climbers, they were determined, resourceful, and ready for whatever the mountain threw at them. Their journey starts at the Everest Base Camp, which is about 17,500 feet above sea level, which basically makes it higher than everything else on the planet. From there, they have to climb to several camps, which are higher and harder to reach than the last. Now, the first big obstacle is the Khumbu Icefall, which is basically a frozen river of constantly shifting, cracking ice. It's full of massive crevasses that are ready to swallow you up and make you disappear forever. And to cross it, what you have to do is take ladders and situate the ladders across these crevasses. Yeah, you heard that right. Rickety ladders crossing open bottomless pits of death. One wrong move and it's gonna swallow you up and you're gonna be gone forever. But Norgay and Hillary navigated it like a boss, setting up ropes and carefully navigating the dangers. After the ice field, the team moves higher and higher to the western cone. Now, it's a massive flat valley with towering peaks surrounded by it. It looks peaceful, but don't be fooled. This place is a heat trap. Basically, all the peaks reflect the sun during the day, making it into an oven, and then at night, it turns into a freezer. The team had to deal with a drastic temperature change and have to fight through exhaustion. However, they moved forward knowing that the summit was still so far away. Next came the Lotus Face, a steep wall that was made out of ice that you have to scale with ropes and crampons. You know, those skinny bits of metal that you strap to your feet? Basically, just try to imagine you're climbing a slide that's made out of ice, carrying a backpack with stiff boots on. It was grueling. Every step required enormous amounts of effort, and the air was getting thinner, so it was harder to breathe. But Hillary and Norgay were determined, and they kept moving forward. Giving up was not an option, but they come to the death zone. And it's called that for a reason. Basically, when the mountain gets above 26,000 feet, the air gets so thin that your body starts to shut down. You experience dizziness, hallucinations, your muscles stop working properly. It is hell. You see, every step you take feels like a marathon, and Hillary and Norgay had to cart tanks of oxygen up this mountain just to survive. And the tanks of oxygen were from 1953, they weren't even reliable. But still, they pushed forward, knowing that quitting was just not an option. Finally, they arrived at the final challenge, the Hillary Step, a 40-foot wall of ice and rock just below the summit. It's exposed, it's terrifying, there's impending death, and no one has climbed it before, and they don't even know if it's possible. But Hillary was possessed. He grabbed his ice axe, he started beating at the rocks, and he basically made his own trail towards the summit, finding handholds and footholds where there was none. And Norgay followed with showing incredible courage, skill, and teamwork. And finally, they conquered the Hillary step, opening the path to the summit to Mount Everest. And then on May 29, 1953 at 11:30 a.m., Norgay and Hillary stood on top of the world. The first humans to ever reach the summit of Mount Everest. The view, absolutely breathtaking. They could see the curvature of the earth, the clouds below, and as far as the eye could see, the Himalayan mountaintops. It was the ultimate reward for weeks of hardship and years of preparation. But what's even cooler is how they handled their victory. Hillary took a photo of Norgay at the top, but not himself, to make sure he was honored in his role to climb the world's tallest mountain. They planted the flags of the United Kingdom, India, Nepal, and the United Nations to symbolize their teamwork in conquering this great endeavor. Then they started their descent, knowing that getting down was just as important as getting up. The news of the success spread throughout the world, inspiring millions. But this wasn't just about climbing a mountain. This was showing that with determination, courage, and teamwork, that any human can achieve the impossible. Hillary and Norgay became instant heroes, and their story is still talked about today as one of the greatest achievements in human history.